Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. In this video, I want to show you how we can get the information from the text field. And let's say if the user enters the password and the password confirmation incorrectly, we want to show some kind of error over here. And also if let's say the user is trying to sign up with an email that is already existed in our Firebase, we want to show the error over here that says that, hey, the email address is already in use by another account. Alright guys, so let's get started over here. So over here at the top, we have reference to the email text field, as well as the password and the password confirmation text field over here. So let's come over here and let's remove this email and password over here. I'm going to delete this one also, and I'm going to first start with some validation over here. So what I can do is I'm going to do let email equals to email text field dot text. Okay, so we're going to make sure that the email is not invalid, or rather we want to make sure that the email is not empty. Okay, we will handle the invalid condition probably in the subsequent videos, but let's handle the simple stuff first. So I'm going to make sure that email is not empty. Okay, else I'm going to return. Okay, so I also want to make sure that the password and the password confirmation, okay, which is these two fields over here, are filled in correctly. Otherwise, I'm going to say that, hey, the form is invalid. Okay, something like that. So I'm going to do let password equals to password text field dot text, as well as password. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Okay, so password is empty. Is not empty, I mean. Okay, so let me just make this neater so you can see. Alright, so over here I'm just going to ensure that I have my email, my password, as well as I'm going to just copy this. Okay, and I'm going to call this password confirmation. Okay, so that will be the password confirmation text field, I believe. Is that what it's called? Yes, password confirmation text field. And I want to make sure that the password confirmation text field is not empty. Alright, so I want to make sure that the three fields over here, the three text fields are being filled up. We want to check for this to make sure that it's all being filled up. Otherwise, we're going to show an error message over here. Else, I'm going to use the function that we have created over here, show error message if needed. So let's do it here, show error message if needed. I'll say invalid form. Okay, so what I can do is let me just comment out this piece of code over here first, and let me just run this app to see if this is working as intended. Okay, so let's click on the get started button, come over to the sign up button, and obviously if I'm to click the sign up button now, I should see the word invalid form over here. And I noticed that this font is pretty small. I think I'll want to enlarge this a little bit. So let me just quickly come to the main.storyboard. Okay, this is loading, and I'm just gonna come to this part over here, which is this error label. And it looks like it is currently font size 12. Let me just bring this in a little bit. Font size 12. I think maybe let's have it 14 maybe. And maybe I also want this to be medium so that it's more obvious over here. Okay, so I've enlarged this over here. Alright guys, so this is working right now. This is working right now, but the next thing I want to do is to, okay, wait, let me just type in something over here first. If I click on the sign up, this is working as well. So the next thing that I want to validate for is to ensure that the password and the password confirmation, it is the same, all right? Because if the user is not putting in the same password here as well as the password confirmation, that means that he could have misspelled his password. And the last thing you want is to register a user who has misspelled the password. Okay, so we want to have another guard statement over here. So we're going to say guard password equals to password confirmation, else we're going to do the same pattern over here. We're going to show a message over here. We're going to say that, hey, passwords are incorrect. Okay, passwords are incorrect. And let me just run the app one more time to ensure that this is working. Alright, so guys, so when I run the app, I want to test for two things. The first thing is I want to test to make sure that invalid form is being checked. correctly. And then the second thing is that I want to make sure that the password and the password confirmation should be the same. Otherwise, we want to display this over here. Maybe passwords are incorrect. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's come over to the sign up tab. I'm just going to enter something over here, maybe kelvin@gmail.com. And I'm just going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to hit the sign up button. And obviously I should see the invalid form message over here. Okay, so if let's say I come over here to the password confirmation and I'm going to type in 00000 and I'm going to hit on the sign up button, I should see password are incorrect, which is this one over here. All right, so this is the code that handles the validation over here. So I'm going to also maybe put a print statement over here. Okay, maybe email. I'll just put email over here, and I just also want to put a password over here as well. Password over here. Okay, so what this means is that if I can even get to line 87, if I can see this on the console, that means that, you know, the validation have passed, and we know we don't have to worry that, you know, the user is inputting an incorrect password over here. Okay, so let's just test this out. Let me just run the simulator one more time. Okay, all right. So let's come to the sign up tab. Let's put in maybe kelvin@gmail one more time. Okay, again, if I'm to just punch in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 onto the password confirmation, and I click on the sign up button, I think I'm going to see the invalid form message. Okay, if I'm to type in 1, 2, 3, 4, and I click on the sign up button again, I'm going to see the passwords are incorrect message. Okay, so I type in 1, 2, 3, 4, but if I'm to type in 5, 6, 7, 8, so this should match both the password and password confirmation. I should see line 87 being printed out, okay, which is over here, email and password. Okay, so this is good. Let me see what's the error over here. Cannot show automatic strong passwords for app. Okay, I think we can ignore this. Alright guys, so anyway, this is working fine. So what I can do is that I can re-enable back this function over here. So I'm going to uncomment this. And then I'm going to remove this. Okay, maybe I'll just leave this inside over here. And I'm just going to remove the space over here. And over here, I'm going to, instead of printing this out on the console, since I have this show error message if needed function, I can use this over here, okay? And I can punch in error.localize description, okay? So I can see it more obvious into on the UI itself. Okay, so I'm gonna very quickly just run the simulator. One more time. Oops, something is wrong over here. Okay, so over here it says that very thankfully Xcode gave us a little hint. We need to add the self inside over here, and that's because we are in a closure. So what I'll prefer to do is to do a weak self instead. And over here I'll do God let this equals to self else return. So basically we are doing this because we want to make sure that we don't get any kind of retain cycle. And then I can just put in this dot show error message if needed. I think this should be fine. If you don't want to use this method, you can also do something like self question mark. I think this should work as well, but I kind of prefer this method instead. Okay, so I'm gonna run this one more time. Okay, so previously I have registered kelvin@example.com, so maybe let me register a brand new user. Let's call it maybe kelvin1@example.com. Password will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Password confirmation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let me just move this out of the way so that we can see if we get this successful user creation onto the console, printed on the console. So I'm going to click on the sign up button. And all right, so you notice that, you know, it's being printed. This line is being printed. This one over here, line 86. That means that we have passed the validation. And then you notice that it took a while, probably like a split second, for this to appear because we are waiting for Firebase to respond to us. And it tells us that we have created a we have successfully created a user. And guys, just to let you know what this is, this UID is basically like a unique identifier over here. So if I bring this in over here, this is the UID over here. All right, so if I'm to just can I refresh this? Let me just hit the reload button. So Kelvin1 is the latest email that I've registered. Notice that it says here 4B1SP, and here we go, 4B1SP. All right guys, so this is all I have for you in this video. I will carry on working on with this feature in the next one. I'll see you guys.